think now we are set to start. I can see the Republic of Burundi has joined. So, allow me, Your Excellencies and distinguished members in the audience, to request you to rise for the EAC anthem. Can you please take your seat? Your Excellency, the Chairperson of the Summit of the East African Community Heads of State, Your Excellencies, the Heads of State and members of the Summit, Your Excellency, the Vice President representing the President of United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Ministers, the Secretary General, the Right Honorable Speaker of the East African Legislative Assembly, the heads of organs and institutions of East African Community, the members of East African Legislative Assembly, Your Lordships, the judges of the East African Court of Justice, distinguished invited guests and friends of EAC, both here in physically and linked to this plenary, the members of staff of the East African community in your respective levels and capacities, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. We graciously welcome Your Excellencies and distinguished members of the audience and guests and friends to the 21st Summit of the Heads of State. The theme of this summit is EAC at 20, deepening integration, widening cooperation. This theme is premised on the 20th years of integration journey attained at the end of 2019, for which the summit was not able to meet then. This meeting is being held against a backdrop of coronavirus pandemic that has caused hardships to our region and other parts of the world. It is for this reason that the meeting is virtual. We grieve with you, Excellencies, for the loss of lives across the East African community, including our dear members and leaders of our organs during this pandemic. In spite of all this, you have continued to provide strong leadership and direction in the development and consolidation of the EAC integration. It is evident that the region has exhibited resilience and is making a rebound to positive growth trajectory, contrary to earlier predictions when the pandemic had just started. We therefore congratulate you, Your Excellencies, for the firm commitment to the East African cause. I am Kenneth Bagamunda, Director General of Customs and Trade at the East African Community, and I'm honored to be the Program Director of this summit. With these few remarks, I humbly invite the Chairperson of the summit, His Excellency Paul Kagame, to take over the proceedings of this 21st Summit of Heads of State. Your Excellency, sir.
Excellencies, now we have the Constitution of the Bureau. I now call on Master of Ceremonies to lead us through the Constitution of the Bureau.
Chair, thank you very much. According to the EAC rules of procedure, the current Bureau is comprised of Rwanda as the chairperson of the summit, and Kenya is the rapporteur. Thank you, Chair. And both of them are present, and all the partner states are well represented, are fully represented. Thank you, Chairperson.
Excellencies, we had a closed session of the summit, and in the closed session we agreed a number of things and made decisions that as you have known, constituted a new bureau where Kenya becomes the chair, Burundi, rapporteur, and also agreed the Secretary General, the new Secretary General, as the Secretary General's mandate, the one that was serving, had ended. Your Excellencies, I first wish, therefore, to congratulate the new chairperson of the summit, President Uhuru Kenyatta. I also extend a warm welcome to our new Secretary General, Dr. Peter Mathuki. We look forward to working closely with you. I thank our outgoing Secretary General, Ambassador Liberath Mfumukeko, for his dedication and service to our organization and wish him all the best in his future endeavors. Let me also thank the heads of state as well as the East African Community Secretariat for the cooperation afforded to Rwanda during our tenure as chair. This has been a year like no other for East Africa and for the world. Our health systems have been challenged like never before, and the disruption to travel and trade has been significant. This situation has had real impact on the well-being and livelihoods of our people. However, the positive examples of cooperation we have seen through our East African community institutions has played a role in mitigating the effects of the pandemic. Our focus now should be on rebuilding stronger than before, with closer regional cooperation as a pillar of our resilience and prosperity. Let us continue in this spirit and actually do even more and better together. I thank you for your attention. Now we can proceed into the rest of the proceedings. I wish to invite the Master of Ceremony to take us through the rest.
Your Excellency, the Chairperson, Your Excellencies, having given your remarks, we expect the next item will be the change of bureau, as you indicated, and we are supposed to do it virtually. You may ask me how we are going to do it, but we will expect the outgoing chair to stand up and the incoming chair to stand up. We had requested that in case there are some instruments of power that they have, the outgoing chair shows the instruments of power and the incoming chair utilizes the instruments of power, in accordance with the powers that has been bestowed to him. Thank you. So you can stand up and show, then we will get the chairperson, the incoming chairperson, which is Kenya, to take over the chairmanship of the East African community. I think that is done. Chairperson, we also wish to request the Republic of Kenya to stand up as the outgoing rapporteur and the Republic of Burundi to stand up as the incoming rapporteur so that we can have a handover. Burundi, the Republic of Burundi needs to stand up to receive the instruments of the powers of the rapporteur from the Republic of Kenya. Thank you very much. So with that, I think now the incoming chairperson takes over the proceedings of this meeting. Thank you.
Over to you, our chairperson of the East African Community.
Thank you very much, President. And at the very onset, let me thank all your excellencies for your confidence, faith, and trust. And I promise to do everything that I can to take our community to greater heights, but more when it is my opportunity to make my statement. At this stage, I would like first and foremost to take this opportunity to request us all to adopt both the agenda and the program as has been set out for us by our Secretariat. May we adopt the agenda, maybe by a show of hands, we can approve the agenda. Adopted. Let me, at this stage, request our outgoing but current Secretary General to make some welcome statement. Over to you, Secretary General.
Your Excellencies, the EAC heads of state, members of the EAC Council of Ministers, and other ministers present, government officials from EAC partner states, members of diplomatic and cooperation missions, representatives of other regional economic communities, heads of EAC organs and institutions, EAC members of staff, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. At the outset, allow me to begin by welcoming all of you to the 21st Ordinary Summit of the EAC Heads of State. It is refreshing to have all of you back, and we should thank the Almighty God for the privilege of crossing into the new year. Your Excellencies, allow me to start by paying tribute to some gallant soldiers of EAC who left us in the year 2020. I pay tribute to the late Daniel Arap Moi, former President of the Republic of Kenya, and Benjamin Mkapa, former President of the United Republic of Tanzania, who were both very instrumental in the revival of EAC and were actually signatories of the current EAC treaty. May their souls rest in peace. I similarly pay tribute to His Excellency Pierre Nkurunziza, former President of the Republic of Burundi and a member of the summit, who also passed on in 2020. I also wish to pay tribute to 3 former members of the EAC Council of Ministers who also left us in 2020, including Dr. Augustine Mahiga from the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Ali Kirunda Kivejinja from the Republic of Uganda, and John Luke Jok of the Republic of South Sudan. I finally want to pay tribute to Honorable Momo, a member of the EAC Coordination Committee from the Ministry of EAC Affairs in the Republic of South Sudan, who left us only a week ago. Your Excellencies, these were gentlemen who made immeasurable contributions to EAC, and their names will go down in the history of EAC. May their souls rest in peace. Your Excellencies, on a different positive note, I wish to congratulate the Republic of Burundi, the United Republic of Tanzania, and the Republic of Uganda for successfully conducting peaceful national elections. EAC launched observer missions in the 3 countries, and they noted that the elections were conducted as per the acceptable democratic principles. Excellencies, year 2020 was a challenging year. This was occasioned by the landing of the novel coronavirus pandemic on our shores at the beginning of that year. I'm glad to note that all the 6 partner states have made gallant efforts to minimize the impact of COVID-19 on their citizens. These efforts ought to continue in light of the emergence of more debilitating variants of the disease. We acknowledge all steps taken by partner states so far to contain the virus, the results of which have seen partial easing of restrictions on cross-border travel and trade. The integration process is about people interacting and engaging in trade, so the virus has in many ways been a barrier to integration. Your Excellencies, this is the first ever summit of its kind to be held virtually and is evidence of our God-given ability to adapt to situations as they come. I have no doubt that we as a region will in the end emerge victorious over this pandemic that has so far infected and killed many East Africans. We can only hope that the year 2021 will bring in better tidings for the community. Your Excellencies, the summit is also unique for me in that it is my last as Secretary General of the community. My tenure as Secretary General has been a turning point in that the EAC has recorded several achievements. Excellencies, I took over the leadership mantle of EAC in April 2016. During my swearing in, there was a clarion call from the chair of the summit directing me to address the issue of efficiency and reduction of wastage in EAC. Therefore, as my first activity, I introduced reforms to address some challenges in the way EAC conducts its business. I introduced cost-cutting measures and internal financial controls that resulted in the reduction of the community's travel expenditures by 40%. The reforms focused on reduction of travel expenses, largely through minimizing the number of meetings held outside the EAC headquarters in Arusha, controlling on the number of people traveling, and reducing the number of meetings days. Added to this, more meetings took place via video conference. However, let me add that it was never a smooth journey implementing these reforms. Humans by nature don't like change, and so the reforms naturally encountered resistance. Some of the reforms caused discomforts and attracted a lot of noise, complaints, pressures, and defamations, which were sometimes even expressed through media channels. But I do not regret anything. I did my best as a responsible citizen of this community, who I think has been very well trained in management and good economic governance. Be that as it may, the new financial controls ensured that in the financial year 2017-2018, 2018-2019, the community received clean or unqualified audits from the EAC Audit Commission. Your Excellencies, during this tenure, there was a sharp increase in the amounts of resources mobilized from the development partners. We have continued to receive.
Tumeendelea kupokea.
We have continued to receive strong support from our development partners, a clear indication of their confidence in the EAC. Over the last 5 years, successful resource mobilization efforts were registered, generating more than $3.1 billion, including more than $700 million worth of grants signed by EAC partner states and/or the EAC. The development partners include the African Development Bank, USAID East Africa, the Federal Republic of Germany through KfW and GIZ, the European Union Commission, the World Bank, China, the United Nations, the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, Denmark, Norway, Finland, Switzerland, France, and many others. With the resources received, we were able to implement key programs which directly impact on the citizenry of EAC. Under infrastructure development, EAC has played a crucial role in coordinating the construction of the Rusumo Falls hydroelectric project. The US $640 million project is about to be finalized and will significantly increase power supply to Burundi, Rwanda, and Tanzania. The EAC mobilized resources for the construction of power lines to connect the national grids of the 3 partner states to the hydroelectric plant. Under the transport sector, the community initiated feasibility studies and construction of intra-regional roads, railways, and maritime transport corridors connecting the 6 partner states. Your Excellencies, agriculture is the single biggest employer from which approximately 80% of East Africans derive their livelihoods. The community is therefore keen on working with partner states to improve the agriculture sector as a way of creating employment opportunities, particularly for the youth. In the 2016-2017 financial year, we initiated, in collaboration with the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, a program to support young entrepreneurs in the agriculture sector. During the same financial year, we embarked on a $42 million program to improve value chains in diverse sectors, including coffee, tea, cotton, and spices. We have also recorded significant achievements in water, fishing, and environmental sectors. Under the Lake Victoria Water and Sanitation 2 project, we completed in 2017-2018 financial year the construction of 15 water treatment plants in 5 EAC partner states and that's 3 per country, that will enable the beneficiary cities, towns, to access potable water until the year 2035. This project is aimed at improving water quality and availability through strategic and sustainable management of the Lake Victoria Basin. Under fisheries, populations living along the shores of Lake Victoria have been supported to adopt new approaches to fisheries management and techniques, and to create their own business through the Responsible Fisheries Business Chains on Lake Victoria project. Further, EAC recently launched the True Fish and Ecofish programs to promote aquaculture in the region. Under education, EAC launched scholarship programs for students to study in over 20 African centers of excellence, universities in Europe and Asia, and for higher level education in agricultural science, cardiovascular health sciences in Tanzania, oncology in Uganda, kidney treatment in Kenya, biomedical engineering in Rwanda, nutrition sciences in Burundi, ICT in Tanzania, South Korea, and Germany, to name a few. More than 3,900 persons have so far benefited from the scholarship programs. Your Excellencies, the EAC has also made achievements under the 4 pillars of integration, namely the customs union, common market, monetary union, and political federation during the 5 years that I have been in office. Under the customs union pillar, in addition to the consolidation of the EAC single customs territory, a total of 15 one-stop border posts have been constructed and operationalized along partner states' borders, with the latest one being the Nimule Elegu at the Ugandan South Sudan border, and Tunduma That's the Tanzania-Zambia border. And these were the most recent OSBPs that we launched. The community has continued to implement the single customs territory, through which interconnectivity of customs systems and exchange of trade information have been enhanced. On the common market, a key achievement has been the issuing by all partner states, with the exception of the Republic of South Sudan, of the East African International e-passport. The Republic of Kenya was the first country to issue the new e-passport beginning 1st September 2017. Your Excellencies, during the year 2020, the East African Community Secretariat continued to work with partner states and other stakeholders to implement the Monetary Union Protocol roadmap. So far, the summit has assented to the bill for the establishment of the East African Monetary Institute, which is expected to carry out much of the preparatory work for the creation of the East African Monetary Union. The 40th Ordinary Meeting of the Council endorsed for the East African Monetary Institute and further directed the EAC Secretariat to initiate the operationalization process. Under the financial sector, the EAC has developed requisite legal instruments for the insurance and microfinance subsector and strategies for implementation of financial education and insurance certification. Further, we have implemented the financial market infrastructure for payment and settlement system, as well as finalized regional regulations for portability of pension benefits and consumer protection. Your Excellencies, under the political federation pillar, the community continued with the process of drafting the constitution for the EAC political confederation. Consequently, consultations were completed for the Republic of Burundi. However, further consultations in the rest of the partner states could not commence as a result of spread of the COVID-19, coupled with the limited budget to facilitate the process. Over the 5 past years, the EAC was able to send election observation missions to all the EAC partner states except the Republic of South Sudan. The electoral observation mission has proved to be a critical tool in ensuring peace, stability, and nurturing the culture of democracy in EAC partner states. Your Excellencies, the achievements registered by the EAC have earned us international recognition as the top performing regional economic community on regional integration overall by international renowned institutions like the African Development Bank, the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, the African Union, and the World Bank. Further, these achievements have also attracted the attention of some of our neighbors, with some states having expressed their keen interest in joining our community. Your Excellencies, despite these many achievements, I am of the view that more could have been attained if the challenges that face the community were addressed. Foremost among these challenges is bureaucracy and lengthy processes involved in decision-making. This issue needs to be addressed as a matter of urgency if the integration process is to move much faster than is currently the case. The second major challenge is that of liquidity challenges that have been brought about delayed disbursement of statutory contributions by the partner states. Late disbursement of contributions prevents the timely implementation of EAC programs and projects and has the impact of making our community dependent on development partners. The first challenge I encountered was the slow implementation by partner states of Council decisions and directives. This matter needs to be addressed because we will not move far with the integration process if Council decisions and directives are not implemented year in, year out. I wish the incoming Secretary General, the Judge President, and other judges all the best as they steer the integration process forward. I call on the EAC Council of Ministers, the Coordination Committee, all EAC executives, professional and support staff to give them all the support they will need in carrying out their duties, even in the most difficult times, as they have done with me. I hereby wish to extend to them my deepest gratitude. With these many remarks, I would like to specifically thank the Summit of the EAC Heads of State for appointing me to serve as Secretary General for the past 5 years. This is a privilege and lifetime opportunity that I will always treasure. Finally, I take this privileged opportunity to present my thanks to the United Republic of Tanzania and her people who hosted me with my family in Arusha, made us discover exceptional values of hospitality and humanity, as well as the extraordinary diversity and beauty of their territory. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Secretary General, for that opening statement. And once again, our profound thanks for the immense work that you have undertaken during your tenure. I would like now to go on to the next item on the agenda, which is a statement by the Chairperson of the Council of Ministers. And as he makes his statement, he will include also a presentation of the report of the Council of Ministers to the summit on the implementation of selected previous directives and decisions. Honorable Chairperson of the Council, you have the floor.
Thank you, Your Excellency Chair. Excellencies, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to present the report of the Council of Ministers, providing key highlights of the implementation of the EAC activities from February 2019 to February 2021. Let me start with the Customs Union. Excellencies, efforts have been made to implement period. Several legal instruments were established, amended, and modernized. These include the Customs Management Act, the East African Community Common External Tariff, and the related e-tariff toolkit, as well as a sustainability strategy for the electronic cargo tracking system. Also, 16 non-tariff barriers were resolved through bilateral and regional framework. Additional 2 one-stop border posts, namely Mule Elegu on the Uganda-South Sudan border and Tunduma on the border of the United Republic of Tanzania and Zambia, were launched in 2019-2020. Now, 13 out of 15 one-stop border posts are operational. As a result, cross-border clearance and movement time has been reduced by 84%, where one-stop border posts are operational. Excellencies, efforts to integrate the Republic of South Sudan into the community were intensified and in this reporting period. So far, 160 government officials and stakeholders have been trained on key regional priorities. Additional 22 governments were on the implementation of the one-stop border post. Regarding trade integration, Excellencies, I am pleased to report that all partner states are now party to the WTO Trade Facilitation Agreement. Moreover, 4 partner states have signed and ratified the tripartite free trade agreement involving the EAC, COMESA, SADC member states. Except the Republic of South Sudan, East African Community partner states submitted 79% of the market access offers for the African Continental Free Trade Area. 3 partner states, namely Rwanda, Uganda, and Kenya, have ratified the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Burundi and Tanzania and the United Republic of Tanzania have indicated willingness to ratify the agreement in the near future. However, all partner states are not ready to sign, ratify, and implement the Economic Partnership Agreement with the European Union. This delay has been affecting partner states which cannot access the EU market through the EU arrangement for these development countries. But I understand this summit has addressed these issues. Excellencies, under the Common Market Protocol, I'm pleased to report that all partner states, except the Republic of South Sudan, are using the East African Community Electronic Passport policy frameworks to facilitate movement of persons, labor, and refugees are being finalized for partner states endorsement and implementation. Your Excellencies, between 2018 and 2019, intra-regional investments increased from $152.7 million to $724.6 million. To further support investment flows, our meeting of 25th February 2021 adopted the East African Community Investment Policy. Your Excellencies, in the reporting period, efforts have been intensified in terms of infrastructure development. For example, preparation for the multinational United Republic of Tanzania road was concluded and resources mobilization for construction has commenced. The design of the Mugina Manyuvu one-stop border post is ongoing and is expected to be concluded in June 2021. Construction of Rusahunga-Rusumo Road section linking to the Republic of Rwanda, as well as the sections of the Malindi-Bagamoyo Road under the multinational Kenya United Republic of Tanzania road network is under progress. Moreover, construction of 14 megawatt Kagati Murongo hydropower project continues. In the productive sectors, harmonization of procedures for conducting pest risk analysis for maize, rice, and beans have been put in place. Additional key guidelines required to facilitate testing and the registration of pesticides under the East African Community Harmonized System are now operational. Efforts are being made to strengthen value chains in the cotton, leather, automotive, extractive industry, and horticulture. Excellencies, the region acted swiftly in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. A regional response plan was established and is being implemented. A regional ad hoc regional committee was established to enable coordinated interventions against COVID-19. Excellencies, further to the enactment of the East African Community Monetary Union Protocol, supporting frameworks such as the banking certification policy and microfinance services policy have been adopted to lay the foundation for smooth implementation of the monetary union roadmap. Regarding the political confederation, national consultations on the formulation of the East African Community Political Confederation Constitution were launched in October 2019. National consultations were held in Burundi before COVID-19 outbreak. Consultations in other partner states are expected to resume in March 2021. Excellencies, allow me to summarize that all East African community organs and institutions delivered significant results in the line of their mandate. The Assembly enacted 3 bills, while the Court of Justice handled 54 matters, 24 judgments, rulings were delivered. The Competition Authority developed its outreach and advocacy strategy as well as the East African Community Competition Bill 2020 was amended. The ISTICO developed the East African Community Regional Policy for Science, Technology, and Innovation, and EAC Regional Policy for Intellectual Property, and they were approved by the ISTICO Governing Board. The East African Health Research Commission implemented one of the health programs of the Digital Reach Initiative, namely the East African Health Cloud. The East African Kiswahili Commission developed a draft East African Kiswahili language policy that identifies acceptable and appropriate measures to be taken at both national and regional levels to foster Kiswahili development in all communication domains. Civil Aviation Safety and Security Oversight Agency provided direct support among the partner states for purposes of improving the effective implementation of safety standards and recommended practices. Inter-University Council for East Africa secured more than 50 scholarships for East African community students. Lake Victoria Basin Commission put in place mechanisms to deal with the main environmental stresses within the basin, such as the adoption of cleaner production technologies by 120 enterprises. Over 307 industries were trained and subsequently invested over $23 million in new, cleaner, and greener technologies and measures, which led to the improvement of industrial effluent discharge into water bodies in the basin and the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions by over 20,000 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization integrated the Republic of Burundi into activities and operation of the organization. It also developed guidelines for extraction, processing, transportation, and marketing of the recreative fish mouths in the East African community. Excellencies, despite successes recorded in the reporting period, COVID-19 disrupted regional programs and cross-border movement. Also, the community continues to face financial challenges. Your Excellency, the Council recommends that we consider and adopt its report for this summit for the period from 1st February 2019 to 28th February 2021. In conclusion, I wish to thank the Council of Ministers, the Secretary General, and the Honorable Speaker of EALA, His Lordship, the Judge President of the East African Community, the East African Court of Justice, the heads of all the community institutions, and their staff for coordinating and implementing the various projects and programs of the community. It's my honor and privilege to present this report to the summit for consideration. I submit to you, Excellency. Your Excellency Chair, with your permission, I wish to proceed with the presentation of the report on the implementation status of previous decisions and directives of the summit. Excellency Chair of the East African Community Summit, Excellencies, on behalf of the Council, it's my pleasure to present this progress report on the implementation of the summit directives and decisions issued from the first summit until the 20th summit held in February 2019. Excellencies, in the successive East African Community Summit meetings, 195 directives and decisions have been issued. 106, meaning 54% out of the 195 directives decisions have been fully implemented, while 69, equivalent to 35% directives decisions have been partially implemented, whereas implementation of 8 directives is continuous. 12 directives and decisions representing 4% are yet to be implemented. Your Excellencies, on behalf of the Council, I submit the report on the implementation of summit directives and decisions for your consideration. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, for that presentation. And I now call on the summit to adopt the two reports. One, the progress report of the Council of Ministers for the period February 2019 to February 2021. And the second, the report of the Council to the Summit on the implementation of previous decisions of the Summit. I call on this Summit to adopt by a show of hands these two reports by the Chairperson of the Council. So if we can report. The reports are hereby adopted, and we thank you, Chair of Council, for your reports. We now will move to the judicial oath and oath of allegiance by newly appointed judges of the East African Court of Justice, the designation of the Judge President, Vice President, Principal Judge, and Deputy Judge of the East African Court of Justice. But before that, we shall also be swearing in this new Secretary General of the East African Community, and I hand over to the Master of Ceremonies to take us through those three events. Master of Ceremonies, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next activity is going to be conducted by the Registrar of the East African Court of Justice, assisted by the Counsel to the Community in swearing in the incoming judges. Thank you.
Master of Ceremonies, I think we shall begin with the swearing in of the new Secretary General in accordance with the program.
Chairperson, sorry for that mix-up, but we are going now to have the swearing in of the new Secretary General. The new secretary, we are going to do it virtually. The new secretary, the incoming Secretary General is not here in this audience, but I believe he's in another audience which will be seeing through the screen. But still, it will be conducted by the CTC and the Registrar of East African Court of Justice. And we expect the Secretary General, the new Secretary General, to take his oath from where he is. Thank you, Chair.
Session. Excellencies, you recall that during your closed session, you appointed Honorable Dr. Peter Masuki, new Secretary General of the East African Community, with effect from 25th April 2021. We made efforts to send him the judicial oath and oath of allegiance, but in case he hasn't received it, okay, I call upon him to get hold of a Bible. Honorable.
Okay. Your Excellency, Chair of the Summit, Your Excellencies, all protocols observed, may I present to you the new Secretary General, the incoming Secretary General who will be taking his oath of allegiance and the oath of office to serve in the community, Honorable Peter Mathuki, who was a member of EALA some times back and currently is executive officer of the EAC Business Council. He is therefore not new to EAC. Honorable Mathuki, please take your Bible and read your oath.
I, Honorable Dr. Peter Mutuku Mathuki, do solemnly swear that I will not directly sorry, this is I, Honorable Dr. Peter Mutuku Mathuki, being appointed Secretary General of the East African Community, do solemnly swear to exercise in all loyalty, discretion, and conscience the functions entrusted to me as a staff member of the East African Community in the office of the Secretary General, to discharge these functions and regulate my conduct with the interests of the community, and not to seek or accept instructions in regard to the performance of my duties from any government or other authority external to the community. So help me God.
Honorable Mathuki, you have not finished the oath of secrecy, please.
I, Honorable Dr. Peter Mutuku Mathuki, do solemnly swear that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal any matter to any person which shall be brought under my consideration or shall come to my knowledge during the discharge of my duties, except as may be required for the discharge of my official duties, or as may be specially permitted by the summit, heads of state, and the Council of Ministers. So help me God. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellencies, we seek your indulgence to call upon the judges. We shall begin with the judges of the appellate division. Honorable Mr. Justice Nestor Kayobera.
Your Excellencies, allow me to present to you Justice Nestor Kayobera from the Republic of Burundi, who is joining the appellate division of the East African Court of Justice. Justice Kayobera holds a master's degree in international public law from Hope University, Africa in Bujumbura, a postgraduate diploma in law, a diploma in arbitration and mediation, an advanced diploma in labor law from the National Social Welfare Training Institute of Dar es Salaam. Currently has been the Director General of Judicial Organizations and State Attorney in Burundi. Previously, he served as a Director of Resource and State Attorney, Director of Judicial Organizations, Legal Advisor to the Minister of Justice, and holder of the seal, served as a member of the Labor Tribunal of Burundi. He was a member of the team of experts on the modalities of establishing sub-registries for the East African Court of Justice in partner states. He has served as a focal person in charge of EAC matters, member of the Sectoral Council on Legal and Judicial Affairs, member of the High-Level Task Force on the amendments of the treaty, member of the EAC team of experts on admission of the Republic of South Sudan into EAC, member of the Constitutional Drafting Team on the EAC Political Confederation. He also served as the president of the Administration Council of the Professional Training Center of Justice in Burundi. He has defended very many cases before the East African Court of Justice, where Burundi was a litigant. He is therefore not new to EAC and EACJ in particular. He now brings experience from the bar to the bench. Please step forward, Justice Kayobera.
I, Nestor Kayobera, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the East African community, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the treaty for the establishment of the East African community as by law established. So help me God. I, Nestor Kayobera, do solemnly swear that I will well and truly serve the East African community in office of Judge of the East African Court of Justice, and that I will do justice in accordance with the treaty for the establishment of the East African community as by law established, and in accordance with the laws and the customs of the East African community without fear, favor, affection, or ill will. So help me God.
Thank you, Justice Kayobera. Next is also a judge appointed from the Republic of Rwanda to the Appellate Division, Justice Anita Mugeni. Your Excellencies, allow me to present to you Justice Anita Mugeni. She holds a law degree from the University of Rwanda and a master's degree from Catholic University of Louvain in Belgium. She has been a practicing lawyer of many years running and managing very successful law firms as a partner and managing partner of MK Law Offices and MRB attorneys respectively. She is also a trainer in professional ethics and practice at the Rwanda Bar Association. She has served as a council member of the East African Law Society, a commissioner of the Public Service Commission, and also a commissioner of the National Consultative Committee on EAC Political Confederation. She is a member of the Rwanda Bar Association, the East African Law Society, Pan-African Lawyers Union, and the Insolvency Administration Association of Rwanda. She brings to the court a rich knowledge, and she'll be an asset to the East African Court of Justice to foster integration agenda. Please step forward, Justice Anita Mugeni, to take your oath. Please start with the oath of allegiance. Justice Anita, you'll start with the oath. Apologies. The next president of the East African Court of Justice comes from the Republic of Burundi, who has just taken oath a few minutes ago, and that is Justice Nestor Kayobera. Over to you, Your Excellency.
Burundi now takes over as
Next, Your Excellency, is the Vice President of the East African Court of Justice, and according to the principle of rotation and seniority when it comes to the Vice, The next Vice President is from the Republic of Uganda and is Justice Geoffrey Kiriabwire. Your Excellency, Justice Geoffrey Kiriabwire is not here because he is already a serving judge of the East African Court of Justice. He already took oath, so it is only designation of new assignments. Thank you.
Adopted. Next.
Thank you, Excellency. Next is the appointment of the Principal Judge of the First Instance Division. And according to the principle of rotation, the next Principal Judge of the First Instance Division comes from the United Republic of Tanzania, and that is Justice Yohane Bokobora Masara, who has taken an oath of office a few minutes ago and is present here.
We put the name to the summit that Tanzania takes a post of principal judge. Is that hereby adopted?
Thank you, Excellency. Next is the Deputy Principal Judge of the First Instance Division. And according to the principle of rotation and seniority in that court, the Deputy Principal Judge of the First Instance Division goes to the Republic of Burundi, and that is Justice Odas Ngie. Justice Ngie, Your Excellencies, is not here because he's already a serving judge of the East African Court of Justice, and this is just a reassignment into new duties, so he already took an oath, he's already a judge. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Do we take it that Burundi assumes the role of Deputy Principal Judge, hereby adopted?
Excellency, that marks the end of that role.
Thank you, Registrar. Thank you. Your Excellencies, we are now drawing to the close of the summit, and this is the opportunity for heads of state and delegation to make their remarks. I have been informed that President Kagame, who is our outgoing chair, has already made his remarks, and he will not be making remarks. So I will open by requesting His Excellency President Everest Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi, to make his remarks. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Your Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, President of the Republic of Kenya and the Chairperson of the East African Community. Your Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda and the outgoing Chairperson of the Summit of East African Community Heads of State. Your Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency Salva Kiir, President of the Republic of South Sudan. Your Excellency Honorable Samia Hassan Suluhu, Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania. The Right Honorable Speaker of the East Africa Legislative Assembly. The Honorable Justice Judge President of the East African Court of Justice. The Chairperson of the East African Community Council of Ministers, Honorable Ministers, Cabinet Secretaries, the Secretary General of the East African Community, Ambassador Libera Bafumukeko, Honorable members of the East Africa Legislative Assembly, Excellencies, the ambassadors and the high commissioners, and members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished heads of East organs and institutions, distinguished permanent principal, secretaries, distinguished East African Community partner states, delegates, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct honor and a privilege to meet your excellencies at this occasion of the 21st Summit of East Africa Community Heads of State. Let me begin by giving thanks to Almighty God who enables to reach this day as we meet to discuss about our community. May he be praised in all his greatness, and may he give us the strength and necessary courage to carry out our meetings successfully. I would like first to extend to your excellencies, the head of state of the East African Community partner countries, and to the peoples of your respective countries, the most cordial greetings on my own behalf and on behalf of the Burundian people. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate the new chair of the East African Community Summit of Heads of State, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the new Secretary General in the East African Community, Honorable Peter Matuki, and assure them of our support. Allow me to use this opportunity to express my deepest condolences to the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Pombe John Magufuli, and the one of Zanzibar, Honorable Dr. Hussein Mwinyi, the Zanzibaris and all Tanzanians at the demise of the Zanzibar's first Vice President, Seif Sharif Hamad. At the same time, permit me to extend also my deepest condolences to the government and the people of the Republic of South Sudan at the demise of Honorable Momo Atian Kor, Under Secretary of the East African Community Affairs. May their souls rest in eternal peace. I ever also myself of this opportunity to congratulate Your Excellency, Dr. Pombe John Magufuli, the President of the Republic of Tanzania, and Your Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, for having conducted peaceful elections in your respective countries. On the occasion of this 21st Summit of the East African Community Heads of State, in which I am taking part for the first time, I am really delighted to be with you, my fellows, heads of state and government, in order to contribute towards guiding the advancement of the community agenda. It is indeed a precious and a memorable moment when we feel closer to one another through video conference, a time to reflect together on the integration agenda, various projects and the programs of the East African community, and above all, a time when we provide the recommendations on the evolution and the direction to be taken on current issues that are strategic and of vital importance to our community. I would like to commend the step already reached, and at the same time stress that there is still plenty of work to be achieved that awaits us in order to make the people of the East African community one people, one destiny, as stated in the motto of the East African community. Some analysts and experts believe that the East African community is a model for integration. Therefore, as members of this community, We are proud of this performance. We must maintain that image and ensure that it resounds around the world. In the same vein, we are pleased to note that neighboring countries are asking to join our community. This is a telling sign that, once again, as a community, we are doing our best for its international prestige. We must maintain this course, this direction, and this pace in order to reach the highest stage in integration. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our community needs the contribution of each and everyone to make sure that projects and the programs are East African community, which concern the political, economic, and social sectors, are fully implemented if we are to achieve tangible results. Consequently, the Council of Ministers is called upon to supervise the implementation of these projects and the programs in a more critical way, and to ensure that they are implemented in a non-discriminatory way in all the partner states of the East African community. Therefore, we will all be strong and will indeed move forward as a bloc. We must remember that our community has engaged in various impressive activities, some of which deserve to be highlighted, in particular the operationalization of the single customs territory and the common market, the establishment of institutions and the implementation of national public finance management program in order to meet the economic requirements for the establishment of the single currency in 2024, the launch and start of the issuance of the electronic passport of the East African community since January 2018, and the common higher education zone in the East African community, to name just a few. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is vital that we constantly concentrate our effort in favor of peace and security, and that we stand in solidarity in the fight against terrorism, piracy, and transnational crime. This is extremely important today, and even more so tomorrow, because our ultimate goal is, as citizens of the East African community, is to achieve a political federation. We sincerely hope that the transitional phase of confederation, which we consider beginning soon, will not prevent us from finally achieving a political federation as stipulated in the treaty establishing the East African community. The Republic of Burundi is determined to advance any constructive contribution leading to peace, stability, and the development of its citizens. Today, peace is a reality in Burundi. This is evidenced by the last elections in 2020, which we successfully organized with our own fund for the first time, as well as the massive return of refugees who responded to the call that I launched to them upon my inauguration. I call on our Burundians, compatriots who are still hesitant to return to their country of origin, to come and join their families in order to contribute to the construction of our nation and the East African community. Finally, I firmly believe that being together as East African will greatly facilitate the transformation of the community towards the achievement of effective integration. Together, our dream will become a reality. Long life to East African community. Long life to international cooperation. God bless you all. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, President Ndayishimiye. And I would like to now take this opportunity to welcome His Excellency President General Salva Kiir Mayardit to make his statement. Welcome, Your Excellency. Excellency, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry, Your Excellency, if I cannot be heard there. I said that I made my remarks before, and I have no more remarks to make.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I appreciate that. And indeed, you had made your remarks, especially when we were having our closed session. And thank you very much for that. I now give this opportunity to Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, Vice President of the Republic of Tanzania, to make her remarks on behalf of President John Pombe Magufuli.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you said it rightly, that I'm here to represent my president, who has been with us here earlier, but due to other exigencies, he was forced to leave this meeting. So I'm going to read his statement in Kiswahili. Mheshimiwa Paul Kagame, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Rwanda na mwenyekiti aliyepita wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, Rais wa Jamhuri.
Your Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, the new chair of the East African Community, Honorable Mzee Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency Emerson Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi, Your Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of South Sudan, Secretary General of the East African Community, honorable ministers from the member states of the East African Community, media people following this summit, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Mr. Chair, I thank you greatly for the opportunity to deliver my remarks on this summit. Certainly, we would all wish that a summit such as this could be an opportunity for a first meeting to meet and discuss the issues pertaining to our community together. But as rightly said here, the current circumstances have deprived us of that opportunity. Your Excellency Chair, before I proceed any further, I join other speakers to commend His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, President of the Republic of Kenya, on your election as new chair of our community for the next 1 year. Your election, it is a demonstration of the confidence that we, your colleagues, have in you. Certainly, you will use your experience and your capacity to take our community to higher heights. I and the government of the Republic of Tanzania, we pledge full cooperation in the implementation of your mandate. I also commend my brother, His Excellency Paul Kagame, for rightly steering the affairs of our community for 2 consecutive years, despite the various challenges, including
coronavirus, you have steered very well the affairs of our community. But I also commend the new Secretary General for the responsibility to steer the daily affairs of our community, which were very well steered by the outgoing Secretary General Mfumukeko. I also commend to our Mzee Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for his election as President of Uganda. The people of Uganda have confidence in your leadership and your vision. We also in the East African community, we are very proud to have a leader of your caliber, a patriotic, brave, wise, and who is a sincere lover of our community. You are among the founders of a community, so your experience and wisdom is needed in taking forward our community. In Swahili, we normally say elderly is a remedy. In another, at this juncture, I want also to commend His Excellency Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi. Ndayishimiye of the Republic of Burundi, I'm sorry, on his election and for building a firm government. On Your Excellency Chair and Your Excellency's Heads of State, it is evident that the world, including our community, are facing the corona pandemic. But also you'll agree with me that until now, the experts, the medical experts, including those from the developed countries in terms of science and technology, haven't found a reliable solution. There is no prevention, there is no cure, which is reliable. I insist on this because it is important for the member states of the East African community and Africa as a whole to cooperate in facing the corona pandemic by undertaking various researches, including our traditional medicines. But most importantly, I want to call upon my fellow leaders to get determined so that to come up with solutions so that this corona doesn't engender other problems such as hunger and poverty. Our people should take precaution but continue to engage in their productive activities. Your Excellencies, it is also evident that the major goal of our community is to cooperate very closely in economic matters and trade in order to improve the livelihoods of our people and to make our nations liberate themselves economically. One area with a potential potential production is in industrial sector. We have a huge market of about 160 million. We can use our raw materials and produce industrial products and consume them ourselves. In our 17th summit of the heads of state, we discussed and gave directives to our government to lay strategies to promote the textile and leather subsectors in order to reduce the use of imported used clothes and shoes. In my opinion, this is a very important direction, and it can be implemented by coming with collective strategies. And I'm comforted to see that the member states have agreed to reduce tariffs on production of these products within our community. We should also continue to build enabling infrastructure such as roads and one-stop centers in our borders. And in the same vein, we should continue to eradicate non-tariff barriers and barriers to investment in our countries. I'm also comforted to hear that since 2007, the member states have been able to eradicate more than 180 non-tariff barriers, and also that negotiations are being made to eradicate the remaining barrier. This is the right direction to enhance trade amongst us. And in this connection, the government of Tanzania is determined to implement a blueprint for regulatory reforms to improve business environment. On Your Excellency Chair, Your Excellency Heads of State, there's no doubt that our 21st summit has been successful. We have discussed in details important issues aiming at more integration in our community, in line with our motto, deepening integration, widening cooperation. Allow me to conclude, Mr. Chair, by commending you once again, Your Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, for being bestowed the responsibility to steer the affairs of our community. And I wish all the best in fulfilling your mandate. God bless the East African community. I thank you for your kind attention. These are remarks from His Excellency, the President of United Republic of Tanzania. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Samia Hassan, for those remarks that you have read on behalf of our brother and colleague, His Excellency President John Pombe Magufuli. We appreciate and are grateful. Let me now take this opportunity to invite His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, to make his statement. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, the current chairperson of the community, the outgoing chair, His Excellency President Kagame, General Salva Kiir, President of South Sudan, His Excellency Ndayishimiye, President of Burundi, Her Excellency the Vice President of Tanzania, the Right Honorable Secretary General, the new one and the outgoing one, all the dignitaries. I'm very happy to take part in this summit, this virtual summit. And I wish to welcome His Excellency Kenyatta for taking over the chair of the EAC. I want to thank His Excellency Paul Kagame for his contribution in the last 2 years as chair. And I want to thank the Secretary General, Liberata Mfumukeko, who finished his term. I have been involved in the issue of East African integration for almost East African integration and African liberation for almost the last 60 years. First of all, as a student activist, and then later on in other capacities. I'm happy to see that we are moving. This integration is about 3 words. It's about prosperity. How can we ensure the prosperity of our people through production of goods and services? If you produce a good or a service and you don't get enough market for it, you will not continue. We have seen some parts of the world, like for instance, Latin America. Latin America is a very rich part of the world with a lot of natural resources, a lot of water, forest, minerals. However, because it is organized in a fragmented way, you can see what is happening there. People are fleeing from South America and going to the United States. Why? Because of poverty. Why? Because it's not a lack of resources. It is the way they are organized politically and economically. So the question that the African leaders faced at independence was, are we to organize a Latin America in Africa? Or are we to organize a United States of Africa in Africa? That is the challenge our leaders face at independence. And that is the challenge we are facing now. Because the United States, the British colonies in North America took a different line. They decided to unite. They created that powerful United States of Africa, which we are now worshiping, all of us, instead of worshiping God. Now, the Spanish colonies in South America took another line. And you see what's happening there. So therefore, the first word that we have been working on for the last 60 years is prosperity. How will you get prosperity for our people? Here in Uganda, the people were asleep. They were not producing much. They were engaged, they were in subsistence farming. They have woken up a bit, not totally woken up, but somehow woken up. And in the limited waking up, they have got a lot of surplus. Surplus sugar, surplus this, surplus maize, surplus bananas, even industrial products. So the issue of market is now very clear to them that there is no way you can get prosperity without a big market. So one solution to the market is the regional market of East Africa. And that's what the treaty is about. And I'm very grateful to His Excellency Arap Moi and His Excellency Hassan Mwinyi, because they are the ones who helped me to revive the community. Now, the second element in integration is security. But the security threats are not fragmented. If we are fragmented, the security threats are not fragmented. We had this terrorism which was going on in Eastern Congo. I hear now it is spreading to other parts of Africa, even northern Mozambique and other areas. We used to have some problems in the coastal province of Kenya and on the Somali border. So if we are not careful, this security threat, if we do not act together, it can grow. But if we act together, it will be defeated. That's what we did when our leaders cooperated. We were able to defeat the Portuguese in Mozambique and Angola, Ian Smith, even South Africa. This was just cooperation. Our leaders, led by Mwalimu Nyerere and Mzee Kenneth Kaunda, they were able to lead us and we worked together. And finally, the issue on the issue of integration is fraternity. These people we are trying to unite are people who are either similar or linked, and they all share the language of Swahili. So really, I'm very happy to see that things are moving, and I wish everybody good luck and success. Uganda will never be found wanting in the efforts of African liberation or integration. I thank you and I wish you good luck.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for that statement. And we appreciate your continued commitment towards the integration, not only of East Africa, but of the African continent. Excellencies, allow me at this stage to also make my statement to the summit. Your Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, an outgoing chairperson of the summit. Your Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency President Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi, Your Excellency President General Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Secretary Generals, both outgoing and incoming, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, before I begin, let me just take this opportunity once again to remember those patriots who were committed East Africans and who have gone before us. Allow me to pause to remember His Excellency President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, President of Kenya, who passed away on the 4th of February 2020, the President Benjamin William Mkapa, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, who passed on the 24th of July 2020, and President Pierre Nkurunziza, President of Burundi, who passed away on the 8th of June 2020. The late President Moi and the late President Mkapa, together with President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, were signatories to the treaty that established the East African Community on the 30th of November 1999 in Arusha, Tanzania. Allow me also to remember Saif Sharif Hamid, the first Vice President of Zanzibar, Augustine Mahiga, former Minister of East African Affairs of Tanzania, the Honorable John Luke Jok, President of East African Affairs of South Sudan, Dr. Ali Kirunda Kivinja, Uganda's second Deputy Prime Minister, Mumu Athan, Under-Secretary and Minister of East African Affairs of the Republic of South Sudan, all of whom were committed East Africans and have done a considerable amount to see the furtherance of our community. Let me also take this opportunity to also express my deepest condolences for the loss of both life and economy occasioned by COVID-19, but also at the same time, even as we mourn those who we have lost, it is also now a time for us to build back better and stronger. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, as I assume the chairmanship of the summit and the community, I want to express my profound honor and gratitude for the honor that you have bestowed upon me and the Republic of Kenya. The discharge of this high responsibility, I want to assure you that I will spare no effort in steering the community towards the realization of the shared aspiration of our people that inspired the consensus that gave rebirth to the community 20 years ago. On behalf of a grateful community, I commend my predecessor, His Excellency President Kagame, for ably chairing the summit and steering the community for the last 2 years. Indeed, under his visionary leadership, the community achieved commendable progress in areas of cooperation, which set high standards for our future progress. Your Excellency, the community will always be indebted to your efforts to see the region being united and moving as a bloc for the benefit of the people of East Africa. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, The vision of our forefathers, right from the pre-independence period, was to have an integrated region with no barriers to movement of goods and people. This indeed informed the one people, one destiny focus. And to achieve this vision, a heavy responsibility is placed on all of us to ensure that the wheels of integration are progressively moving and moving forward in the right direction. Your Excellencies, 4 years ago, we agreed to meet twice every year to address ourselves to key issues of interest to the community. In this regard, we have exhaustively considered a number of items as already highlighted and agreed upon in terms of areas of action. These matters are of critical importance to the future of our community, and we have resolved to maintain keen interest on them. And I am confident that our deliberations during this summit have marked an important milestone in the advancement of our integration process, and I urge all partner states to play their respective roles in ensuring that our resolutions are implemented for the common good of the people of East Africa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a child born 20 years ago is now transiting into adulthood and is confronted with more expectations from the society. Likewise, as we as a community turn 20, we have to contend with the challenges and opportunities of early adulthood. Our citizenry, the people of East Africa, demand more and expect more of those of us in leadership. Our responsibility at all levels of leadership is therefore to ensure that the vision of establishing the community is well on course. While establishing the community 2 decades ago, we set a vision of 4 pillars of integration, namely the customs union, the common market, monetary union, and ultimately political federation. Among them, the operationalization of the customs union that was established in 2005 and the common market that was established in 2010 are on course. In addition, the operationalization of the monetary union is progressing following the ratification of its protocol 6 years ago. And similarly, we agreed during the last summit, to move ahead with political confederation. And now the committee of experts to draft the constitution is in place and undertaking the work. Your Excellencies, I wish to take this time to recall and indeed once again adapt the position of Mwalimu Nyerere on the need of a fully integrated and federated East Africa. And it is my hope and prayer that this deep desire of our forefathers will be fulfilled and benefit our children and our children's children through the work of our hands. We are looking forward to the experts to work on a constitution that will withstand the test of time. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as I take over the chairmanship of the summit, I intend to focus on a number of critical areas. The actualization of these priority areas will be guided by the implementation of the East African Community 6th Development Strategy for the period 2021 to 2025. First, I commit to build on the achievements made under the leadership of my brother, His Excellency President Kagame, in the 4 pillars of integration. I also will focus on the strategic areas that will enable us spur even deeper economic integration, and I will strengthen partnerships to enhance intra-East African community connectivity and focus on the productive sectors to ensure that we are able to implement our projects and programs in a sustainable manner. It is desirable that the objectives of the customs union, the common market, and monetary union, an easier cross-border movement of goods, people, and services are realized. The customs union pillar, which is the foundation of the East African community integration, requires full commitment in facilitating cross-border movement of goods, as well as promoting the development of industries in the region for wealth and job creation. To facilitate the industrialization, I call upon the partner states of the East African community and our secretariat to fast-track the conclusion of the ongoing comprehensive review of the common external tariffs and rules of origin. No region in the world has been able to progress without trading with itself. As we pride ourselves as being one of the thriving regional economic blocs in Africa and the world, we need to focus on finding a solution to the numerous non-tariff barriers that continue to impact on intra-East African trade. In this regard, I call upon all of us to work together in finding a solution to these challenges. There is a need for partner states to harmonize their commitment on the free movement of people, workers, and services as envisioned in the Common Market Protocol. And I wish to report that in the spirit of one people, one destiny, Kenya has allowed free movement of people from our region to come and do business or even social activities without unnecessary hindrances. This is after recognizing that a united East Africa stands stronger than a divided one. In this context, and indeed, as requested earlier by General President Salva Kiir Mayardit of the Republic of South Sudan, Kenya will remove all visa restrictions to South Sudan on the basis of reciprocity. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, cross-border movement of goods and services, as well as people, will only be possible under a working and efficient infrastructure. I note with appreciation the heavy investment all partner states are currently making to cover the existing gaps. As we continue to invest further in building the infrastructure, there is need to focus on the operationalization of all the one-stop border posts across our borders. As we agreed 6 years ago, there is need to fully implement our resolve to establish the one network area for mobile operations, which is meant to facilitate communications between our peoples. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our community is endowed with enormous resources as well as unique flora and fauna. Indeed, the region has the potential for becoming the most preferred tourist destination in the world. There is therefore need to promote the region as a single tourist destination and also implement the single tourist visa, which we have already adopted. In addition, as the community realizes deeper and wider integration, it is necessary that the institutional framework is shaped to manage the due responsibility. The objective of the treaty will not be achieved unless the institutions established to run the community effectively handle their responsibilities. We will therefore focus on various reforms of the institutional structure to facilitate our community achieve the envisioned objectives for the benefit of today's as well as future generations. As we undertake the institutional reforms, financial stability of the organs and institutions of the community is important. The financial status of the East African community is currently facing challenges, and I therefore call on each and every one of us together to comply and honor our contributions in order to ease this situation. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward with integration, it is of paramount importance that the people of East Africa are involved in all stages by making them aware of what is going on in their community. Indeed, our treaty identifies the integration process as people-centered and private sector-led. While I do appreciate the efforts being carried out by all partner states, as well as the organs and institutions of our community in sensitizing the populace, I believe we can do and should do more in ensuring that the peoples of East Africa are not left behind in the integration process. Of equal importance, Excellencies, is partnership with all stakeholders in the integration process. Experience has shown that stakeholder participation has the key to achieving sustainable development across the world. We will therefore invest in building collaboration with private sector as well as development partners in this integration process. The community does not exist in isolation from non-member neighboring countries, and we therefore welcome the opportunity to have the Democratic Republic of Congo and Somalia join us. The existence of an environment of peace and stability in the region is of paramount importance to our community, and we therefore have an interest in the ongoing processes around our region to bring peace and security. At this point, I wish to commend the partner states for their continued keen interest in bringing peace and stability in our region under the auspices of the African Union. Indeed, the efforts that we have built or we have done to build peace and stability in Somalia have produced positive results over the last 5 years. And we also commend the leaders of Somalia for working tirelessly to bring stability to their country. Our call remains the same, that the international community needs to take advantage of the opportunity created by regional bodies, including IGAD and the African Union, in offering support to these worthy causes. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to also take this opportunity to commend the Council of Ministers for their dedication and good work that they have done in the furtherance of our integration process. I also express my appreciation to the staff of our community in Arusha for the role they continue to play in steering our community to greater heights in the many developmental fields, and I would wish to urge them to redouble their efforts in this regard. In particular, I wish to commend the outgoing Secretary General, Ambassador Liberate Mufumukeko, for the services that he rendered to our community over the last 5 years. Indeed, as you conclude your tour of duty in service your contribution to the East African community is without doubt secure. I take this opportunity also to congratulate the incoming Secretary General, the Honorable Dr. Peter Mathuki, who assumes office as we within the region and around the world contend with one of the worst crises that we have faced in a century. The summit is at hand to offer you every support as you take over the baton of the management of the affairs of our community, which has been passed on to you unbroken. As I conclude, I wish to once again reaffirm the commitment of the summit to overseeing the success of the East African community integration process. We are fully aware of the social and economic benefits realizable from a strong regional bloc in this globalized world. We have therefore resolved to give full support to the success of this process for the benefit of all the citizens of East Africa. With these remarks, I wish to thank you all for your attention. Long live our community. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you, Excellencies. And as we now draw to the conclusion of the 21st Summit, I think the Secretariat has managed to circulate the communique, which I have a copy in front of me and which I hope has been circulated to all summit members. And I wish at this stage to ask the summit or to request the summit to adopt this communique, which shall later be read out by the Secretariat to members of the Fourth Estate after its adoption by this summit. May I call on the communique to be adopted by this summit? Can we adopt the communique by a show of hands? May I take that the communique therefore is adopted?
Chair.
Yes, please.
Would you mind if I read the communique as the tradition has been?
Very well. I was just trying to save time, but please proceed.
On the implementation of previous decisions and directives of the summit, and directed the Council to implement all outstanding decisions and directives and report to the 22nd Summit. The summit received a progress report on the constitutional development of the East African Political Confederation and directed the Council to expedite the constitutional development process. The summit considered a report on the status of implementation of its directives to undertake a study of the modalities of including French as a language of the community, in addition to English and Kiswahili, and adopted English, French, and Kiswahili as official languages of the community, and directed the Council to expedite the implementation modalities of the directive. The summit considered a report on the roadmap for the accelerated integration of the Republic of South Sudan into the EAC and directed the Council to conclude the process. The summit noted that the verification exercise for the admission of the Federal Republic of Somalia into the East African community had not been undertaken and directed the Council to follow up on the exercise. The summit considered an application by the Democratic Republic of Congo to join the East African Community and directed the Council to expeditiously undertake a verification mission in accordance with the EAC procedure for admission of new members into the EAC and report to the 22nd summit. The summit recalled its previous discussions on the EU-EAC Economic Partnership Agreement and recognized that not all partner states are in a position to sign, ratify, and implement the agreement. The summit recognized the importance of some partner states to move forward. The summit concluded that partner states who wish to do so should be able to commence engagements with the European Union with a view to starting the EU-EAC Economic Partnership Agreement implementation under the principle of variable geometry. The summit appointed Honorable Dr. Peter Mathuki from the Republic of Kenya as the new Secretary General of the Community for a 5-year non-renewable term. The tenure of the new Secretary General takes effect on 25th April 2021. The summit thanked Ambassador Liberat Fumukeko for his dedicated service rendered to the community and wished him well in his future endeavors. The summit appointed Justice Nestor Kayobera, Lady Justice Anita Mugeni, and Justice Katurima Minoti as judges to the Appellate Division of the East African Court of Justice with effect from 27th February 2021. The summit also appointed Justice Yohane Bakobora Masara, Justice Richard Wabwire Wejuli, Justice Richard Muhumuza as judges to the First Instance Division of the East African Court of Justice with effect from 27th February 2021. The summit designated Justice Nestor Kayobera as Judge President of the East African Court of Justice, Justice Jeffrey Kiryabwire as Vice President of the Court, Justice Yohane Bakobora Masara as Principal Judge, and Justice Odas Ngiye, Deputy Principal Judge with effect from 27 February 2021. The summit thanked Justice Dr. Emmanuel Ugirashebuja, Justice Liboire Nkurunziza, Justice Aaron Ringera, Lady Justice Monica Mugenyi, Justice Dr. Foster Neziriayo, and Justin Faki Jundu for their dedicated service to the community and wished them well in their future endeavors. The summit resolved that the Republic of Kenya would be the new chairperson of the community, while the Republic of Burundi would be the rapporteur. The summit clarified the Republic of Burundi would become the next chairperson after the Republic of Kenya. Their Excellencies, President Uhuru Kenyatta of the Republic of Kenya, President Evariste Ndayishimiye of the Republic of Burundi, President Salva Kiir Mayardit of the Republic of South Sudan, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of the Republic of Uganda, and Vice President Samia Suluhu Hassan, representing President Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli of the United Republic of Tanzania, thanked the outgoing chairperson of the summit, His Excellency President Paul Kagame of the Republic of Rwanda, for his stewardship of the community during his tenure. Done at Arusha, this 27th day of February 2021. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Secretary General, for reading out the communique. And I now want conclusion of the 21st Summit. I once again thank Your Excellencies for the honor that you have bestowed upon me and the Republic of Kenya in allowing us to steward the affairs of our community for the next year. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you as we take our community to greater heights. I wish to thank the Secretariat, the Council of Ministers, for the hard work that they have put in making this our first virtual summit a success. And I look forward as we proceed to work together to defeat COVID-19 in being able to hand over to my brother, President Evastine Naishime, not virtually, but hopefully physically, because we shall have successfully defeated the menace of coronavirus. With those remarks, I now call this meeting to a close, and I thank you all for your patience and attendance, and I ask you all to rise for the national anthem of our community. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. We come now to the end of this session. We normally have 2 items after the closure of the meeting, which is the photo session and some refreshment, but we are also going to do it virtually. And we presume that there will be photo sessions in the capitals and here in Arusha, and there will be also refreshments in the capitals and here in Arusha. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen,